Aaron Dykes and Melissa Melton, good friends of mine, good friends of Joe's, good friends of the network, radio show hosts, awesome investigators, just awesome people. They've had a lot of weird kind of things going on the past week or so to them. They've had some issues or whatnot, just some weirdness going on to them that they wanted to kind of get on the record. And I wasn't sure if we were going to have time to get into it tonight or not. So I didn't want to, give it any promotion if we weren't going to, throw it out there tonight. But they've set aside a few minutes here, so I'm going to give you guys pretty much as much time as you need to cover this stuff. But let's just hop right into it because it is important. So you brought up your board was fried, and I said, "Wow, that's odd." Compiling with all the other stuff you've been through, you guys for the past couple of weeks have been getting, I guess, harassed. You could say. To a certain level or whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of weirdness happening to you personally, not like to a blog or to a video you put up, but literally to you both as individuals. So I'm going to give you the floor, and you start off wherever you want and just tell the listeners about whatever, wherever you want to start. Tell them about all the weird things that's been going on.
Well, as people who are friends with us on Facebook have probably seen, starting last week, we started posting a lot of information about what happens when somebody spikes your drink. Because last weekend, the weekend before last weekend, we went out with some people some of these people anyway, we considered to be friends. And I don't think naming names is really all that important, but there were people that were prominent activists, people that were connected to our past job, and even a movie star son was there. So a lot of people were there. And essentially our drinks were spiked. And I am not accusing anyone at that table. We're not accusing anyone specifically, but our drinks were spiked. And you just know, okay, I'm a decent sized girl, and I had 2 drinks, and they were these frozen margaritas. They were the little regular size ones, and on the third drink that came, because we were going to have a couple, and then we were going to call it a night. On the third drink that came out, I switched my drink with Aaron, and I don't remember exactly why. I was goofing around, and I just switched it. It's like I think his had more in it, and I was just making a joke, and I don't even know. It's not even important. What's important is I switched the drink with him, and then I took 2 sips of it. And it wasn't that many minutes later that my body went numb, literally numb. I could not feel my body. I was seeing flashes in my vision. My vision was all distorted and messed up. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk right at all. And I ended up basically stumbling my way into the bathroom where I blacked out after that for over an hour. I was in there. And when I came to, I was violently sick. So we're talking 2 drinks, maybe a couple drinks, like a couple sips of another drink. So 2,
but definitely not known for being a cheap date.
I mean, here's the thing, okay? Everybody has had those wonderful college days, and I used to be a much bigger girl than I am now, but I come from a family of Irish, German, Cherokee Indian people, okay? We
Good
can
grief.
all drink, okay? We can all drink, and we can all drink quite a bit. So 2.5 frozen little drinks in the little cups, too, because this was one of those swanky upscale places that gives you the small drink. It's not like
whiskey glasses, yeah.
I'm not talking about the goblets that you can get at cool Mexican restaurants where they bring out the fishbowl. I'm talking about a small drink. I'm talking about a small, trendy club drink where they charge you too much. And no, the drinks were not just extra strong. No, I just hadn't not eaten for 24 hours.
Well, I'll even I'll even cut you off right there, Melissa, and say that there's actually even more proof that I know of, because you don't have to even justify and say, no, the drinks were small, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You did exactly what you should have done, and you went back to the place. You spoke to the managers.
Well, this yes. See,
and they
reviewed
the video footage. So this accusation of your... I just don't want the listeners thinking that you're making up. The accusation of you saying that your drinks were spiked was confirmed by professionals. Yes.
Exactly. I was getting to that. Well, that's what happened. So we didn't... I mean, we had a horrible night. Aaron had a horrible reaction as well. And we were both very sick. And even... I ended up walking home.
And I've had nights where I've drinking too much. Yeah, I've been at college parties and stuff like that. It's not like I'm proud of it, but I've ended up having, being sick and
when
having
you
too
just
much.
drank too much.
This felt totally different. Nothing I've ever felt like. This was not a night of where I had too much to drink, because if it was, it would have went away by the next morning.
Right.
Maybe a bad hangover. This hangover,
3-4 days,
or whatever you want to call it, lasted 3 days or so.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. So we ended up walking home, like all through town, all messed up. I mean, it was like I would black out for a block, and then I would come to and realize I had walked more. I don't know how I guess that speaks volumes for the police state of Austin, because I made it home and I didn't get raped or killed or hit by a bus. So that's, yay. But but I got home and I finally got to sleep. And when I woke up, I was again violently ill. And when I say violently ill, I mean the most ill I've been in my adult life. And I've had the flu. I mean, I've been sick before. I've had food poisoning. This was violently ill. I think I literally pulled something in my stomach area from being sick. That's how hard I was throwing up the next day. Now, studies have shown that alcohol, when you consume it and you exercise, you're actually burning up. Your body's metabolizing the alcohol. So if I was able to be sick already several times in the restaurant bathroom, or then walk home 7.5 miles, sleep for 6 hours, and then still be violently ill, that's not 2 glasses of alcohol. I don't care if it was 100% grain alcohol. That's not going to do that to a person as a grown adult that can, and I had eaten food that day. It wasn't like whatever. The point is, I was really, really, really sick. He was really, really sick. And for the whole rest of that day, we started to piece together like, okay, this isn't right. We only had like 3 drinks. It's not right.
I had 3, but still.
I mean,
yeah, but they were like, dude, they were whiskey glasses.
I mean, they were small. They were small.
Yeah.
And we started calling people that were there. And we started getting really weird responses from some of these people. And so we decided, okay, fine, we're going to take drug tests and we're going to go back to this restaurant. We took drug tests. And of course, there's so many things they can put in your drink that can cause that reaction that are metabolized within 12 hours. I mean, the drug test came back clean for all the regular stuff. But unless you know exactly what you're looking for, or if it's a designer mix or whatever, you're not going to find it. Okay. And so we did send off samples, though, to try and get them tested in another independent lab. So we're going to see what comes back on that. We're still waiting for that in the mail. But I'm not hopeful, because I'm thinking you can mix different things, and it's the way it is. And anyway, after all of that happened, we started piecing it together. We decided to go back to this restaurant because they have cameras there. We knew they must. It was one of those upscale places. So we're like, well, maybe this will finally work out into our advantage. And 2 managers, we were there for an hour and a half, reviewed all of this footage. And you can tell after 2 drinks, we can't hold our heads up. I can't walk down the hall. I'm trying to steady myself on the walls. 2 managers, and we interviewed our waiter, all said we looked like we were drugged. There are also several people at the table that we didn't sit right by, that were down the table, that we've spoken to since then, who are very concerned. And one person who said, I thought there was something strange about the fact that you only had 2 drinks and you were both acting that way. Okay. So that happened. And we were drugged. And it's like some people are like, oh, Occam's razor. It's you just don't want to admit you drank too much. Okay. If that's all it was, I would be embarrassed. But I wouldn't go and make a huge big deal and have my urine I mean, why would I do all of that to draw more attention to something that was already horribly upsetting to begin with? I mean, that's silly and makes no sense. What makes sense to me, is that somebody did this. Now, I don't know why anybody would. It's not, I mean, we're not over here reporting on Obama's real birth certificate. So to me, this felt personal. I will say that.
Yeah.
It does not feel like this is some weird government thing. I mean, or whatever. It's not like we talk about food. We criticize a lot of the food. We criticize the government heavily. We're constantly reporting on stuff, but we don't have any secret information or whatever. If we ever came across secret information that we were going to report on, we would just put that out there. It would just be out there.
It wouldn't get Breitbarted.
It wouldn't be like, tomorrow we're releasing, oh my God, it's going to be a great report. No, if I had something like that I thought was worth my life,
this is amateur hour compared to that kind of stuff.
Well, it totally is. And what's proof of that is that then now somebody has tried to also break into our home. So whatever these people want to do, they're messing with us, is what it is.
Yeah,
and I've seen the evidence.
Yeah,
I've seen photographic evidence of the break-in, so it's not just Melissa or Aaron I've seen the evidence. Unless Aaron stood outside the door. And,
I doubt he tried to jimmy his own door.
Jimmy the door himself.
Yeah.
Somebody tried breaking into that door. And you guys have the right to be genuinely freaked out right now. By the weird stuff that was happening to you the past couple of weeks. That's crazy stuff.
And I'm really freaked out. I am actually. I'm angry too.
And you filed a police report, right?
Yes, and they came and took pictures of my door, and then we told them the whole story, and the guy thought we were like talking about some television show he watches.
He said it sounded like a television
because
show.
It's so crazy. And it is really crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
Because this is the thing, okay? This is not the first time weird stuff has happened since we've lived here. We've had a lot of other strange things happen. This is just the most personal it's ever gotten, I think. And maybe I'm just speaking, but this is how it feels to me. I don't know about what you think, Aaron, but I feel like this is very, very personal. And I feel like another thing that was really strange is that there were certain people that we did talk to that were there afterwards, and we tried to talk about this, and they got very, very defensive. And their responses were not natural. Because if someone comes to me and says, I think I've been drugged, I'd be like, whoa, what happened to you? I wouldn't be like,
exactly.
How many drinks did you have? Do you have a receipt? Can you prove it? Were you locked inside the bathroom stall? How do you know? And by the way, they reviewed the footage. I was in the bathroom for over an hour. And there were people that said they came and checked on me, but those people weren't on the tape checking on me. So maybe they checked on me at another bathroom some other place because they never went to the one that I was in.
Maybe they imagined it.
Well,
we were told several stories that were not supported by the security footage at this point.
As I always tell you, Melissa, let's go to the videotape. I'm going to cut us off because the break is sneaking up on us. When we get back, we're going to elaborate more on this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So I want everybody to understand something before I let Melissa and Aaron get back into it. One, she's not attacking anybody in particular. Like, this isn't like an attack fest on anybody. Okay, these two have been going through some interesting things, to say the least. And interesting is a neat way to put it, I guess, a clean way to put it. They've been under a lot of stress. I've talked to them off air the past couple of weeks about this in particular, and they are very genuinely stressed out. Now, a lot of people might not want to, broach this subject. I know you guys were even hesitant to talk about it on air because you weren't trying to stir the pot or anything. But I said to you, as well as Joe and other people, that it is good to at least get this on the record and let people know what's going on, because messing with you maybe like on your videos or comments or emails or something, or starting rumors is one thing, but spiking your drinks and breaking into your house is another level.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. We were so sick and so messed up after we left there that, we could have wandered into traffic. Somebody could have kidnapped, we could have, bad things could have happened. Somebody could have died. Plus when you put these things in people's drink, you don't know what their allergies are, what they can tolerate, whether or not they're going to have a bad reaction. And I've never been so sick and messed up. It's like I wasn't in my body. It was like I wasn't in my body.
You blacked out. I blacked out for probably about an hour. I don't know what happened during that time. We got separated. I found myself walking home through a city that I know, but it's very different to find yourself suddenly in it in the middle of the night, vectoring towards home from miles and miles away. We walked over 6 or 7 miles a piece that night, both on different routes. At one
point while that was going on, I had the distinct impression that I was being followed. And because there was a car, and it was going really slow. It was back there, and I knew, I just had this feeling I was being followed, and I ended up climbing up an embankment, like a very steep one, into a neighborhood. And guy got off the main road that I was on, which I knew would have taken me to my home, because I felt strongly that was going on. I have to say, I feel like I'm a pretty good researcher, and I feel like I'm a pretty smart person, but I don't understand why anybody would want to do this to us, because, we're just trying to do our own, like, we've just been trying to do our website. We've been just trying to do what we do. This is who we are as people. Just because we worked at InfoWars, it's not like you leave and then you're like, I'm going to go be a gardener now. I mean, it's just, we're truth seekers. We're researchers. This is what we do.
But do you think that this is connected to that at all, or do you think there's something else? I mean, I already know the answer to it, but do you think? Obviously, you don't. I should say.
I mean, I don't know even what to believe anymore about. I've heard so many crazy things in the last couple of weeks alone, things I can't talk about or say. I mean, yes, we signed non-disclosure agreements at that place. Everyone knows this. Everyone has to sign one. Well, most people have to sign one. And yes, since we left, we've been not so subtly reminded multiple times that we signed that and that we better shut our freaking mouths. And
you guys have been good. You guys haven't been running around causing any trouble or anything. So.
And that's the thing. It's like, we don't have any interest in doing that, though. It's just like, why? I mean, there's already so much division in the world. There's already so much division, even within this move, whatever you want to call it.
Do you think that could be the goal of this, is to create more division in this movement? Maybe one particular individual or two individuals or a few in the right places, causing problems here and there, and maybe trying to connect other well-named individuals as well. That way it creates division. Do you think what's going on here?
I absolutely think that, and I even have some evidence to support that, but I'm still not going to go off. I think that almost that's what these people want. So that's why I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it. And I will just say this. Currently today, the newest thing to happen today is we're currently being accused of secretly feeding recordings of Anthony Gucciardi to some other radio host guy that we never made. So now we're being accused of recording people and giving it to other people. That's the newest thing that's happened today, which is something that we would never do because we have no interest in that at all. That doesn't do anything. Why would we do that? That wouldn't help us at all. And the thing is that we did go at Anthony's request. Actually, well, he asked to meet with us, and then we didn't even want to meet with him. But then other people intervened and said you should meet with him, so we did. And we talked to the guy, and yeah, he had a lot of the same sentiments in that recording, which we've just recently been apprised of. I don't think it was the same things, but it was pretty similar. I mean, it was very similar stuff he was talking about. But we just don't record people, and we don't. And this is the thing. That meeting happened in August or something? If we really had any interest in recording secret people and then releasing the information, like if we had any interest in doing that, why wouldn't we have done it back when we talked to him in August?
It's a bit late. You guys.
Why would we suddenly be like, you know what? A good time for that would be right after.
You guys are running about 7 months behind, so you know.
I know. I think a good time for that's after I get drugged and my house is broken into, and then I'm like, haha! Remember that time? Like, no. I'm sorry. I got here's the weird thing.
Here's the weird thing. I'm not really familiar with the young lad Gucciardi. I've never met him, never talked to him. I've seen a video of him here and there, but I'm not really familiar with his work. Anyway, I mean, I know who he is, but I'm just not, Anyway, from what I do understand about him, he was drugged himself, or there are claims that
there are rumors
that he maybe had the same thing happen to him.
That's right.
That you guys did, and
that's the rumor. That's the rumor that's going around that when he was in Dallas for the JFK thing, that he was also drugged, and there's some crazy thing about how he had some glasses of wine and was screaming weird stuff in the street, and doing all kinds of inappropriate things.
If that means that he was drugged too, and you guys were drugged. Is this a pattern? Is there a pattern emerging that maybe
this is what I'm saying.
Something is being done to tear something apart, and maybe I don't know. To me, the drama that's being, like, from an outsider, the drama that I see this creating, which is one of the things that they hope, that takes everybody off track of what they're focusing on. It does, because
we're trying to get our movie going, and we've already started filming on it, and we're getting ready to do a Kickstarter for it, and that's what we want to focus on. Here's the thing. If I wanted to be at InfoWars, I would be at InfoWars. I would still be there. Aaron would still be there. We quit. Okay. And everyone thinks that we quit so we could be together because there was some policy about that. Yes, there are policies about that. But it's also true that we were basically together the whole freaking time we worked there. Okay. So that's not why we left. Okay. But we did choose to leave and we quit and we left. And now we're doing what we're doing now. If we wanted to still be embroiled in the drama or dealing with the BS or doing it, we would not have quit, right? We would have still be there. We don't want to be there. There's a reason we're not there. That's why. And I hate it because I have people that I care about, people on Facebook that I'm friends with, and they keep asking me to say a bunch of stuff. And it's like, okay, I have children. It's not, I guess if we get sued and screamed at or what, I mean, they could take my nothing that I don't have, but I mean, it's kind of like, I just want to focus on the work I'm trying to do. I don't want to get mired in all of this infighting and blacklisting and the BS because it just goes on and it's pointless in the end of the day because we're all trying to supposedly do the same thing here. But now I feel like someone has drugged me. I don't know what happened to Aaron while I was in the bathroom for ever and a half. I guess I could have aspirated and died. I could have wandered out into traffic and died. He could have died. Someone could have been arrested. Who knows what could have happened?
By the way, if someone was obviously the person was targeting Aaron, not you.
I switched drinks with him.
You were an unknown variable. They just didn't account for you grabbing his drink.
I would say if there's these recordings and these stories coming out about Anthony's Dallas thing, I would say the only reason so far no weird, crazy recordings have come out of Aaron or I in this situation from Saturday is because, if you just have one person take a couple drinks and act all crazy, right, then you can explain that as, well, that guy just can't hold his alcohol and he's just a crazy person that does crazy things. But, when two people have that same thing and they've got video footage and witnesses who worked it. The one guy was a manager, said he's been in the food service industry and he's been working as a bartender and he's been manager for 20 years. And he said, this does not look like an intoxicated person. This looks like a drugged person. There is a difference. And so I've got witnesses.
That was a question in the chat room, and I already know the answer to it, but I'll let you answer. They said, did the people, the managers that watched it, say that they saw anything on the video?
Well, that's the thing, is the video, where the camera was, we were sitting at the end of a long table. It was a long rectangular table, and we were at the end. The camera was up above our head facing outward. And so it only shows part of the end of the table. Like our drinks were right at the end of the table, and it doesn't show where the drinks were. So you can't actually see anyone put anything in it or whatever. But it could have been done before they even brought it to the table. I mean, I know it sucks because it's what happens when this happens to you is it's like you remember right up until a point and then it's like you don't remember anything. And as much as you try, it's kind of like a weird nightmare that you get flashes of things, I just know that I've been with Aaron now for almost 2 years and I've lived with him for quite some time. And I mean, we've been to a wedding with an open bar, okay? Had more than, I will say that night we definitely had, we're not big drinkers, but I mean, that night we had more than 3 drinks. It was a wedding. It was a celebration. And he ended up confronting a drone pilot at this wedding. And I mean, he still was civil and he was able to talk. I mean, this point, he was just, his whole behavior changed. It was like he was a different person. And I couldn't hardly speak. My tongue felt like it was numb. And I couldn't move. Like, I can't explain. It's almost like being anesthetized or something.
Like
it's
roofied?
It's like you're removed from your body.
Like you were roofied.
I mean,
out of curiosity, what do you have to gain by doing anything like that? Let's just say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm saying.
What do you have to gain?
Like, if I just had too much to drink and nothing happened to me, I had too much to drink. That sucks for me. I should have been more careful around people or whatever.
Right.
And then I feel bad that I had too much to drink in front of people and act. I mean, usually if I have too much to drink, which has happened occasionally in my life, I get like goofy and I tell bad jokes and I giggle too much and I maybe talk a little too loud. That's about it, though. I mean, I'm the kind of person that doesn't even usually ever get sick or,
so this is...
for
you poisoning yourself to somehow fake get like recorded
that's a good
conversations.
one. That's a good
Well,
one.
it's just, I mean, if you're thinking, if somebody thinks that you would have, recorded secret conversations or something and
that's
leaked
the
them,
new thing
it
now.
won't.
It's
But
like,
if you're guilty of that, then you also have to be a party to spiking people's drinks and
guess
stuff,
so.
and that means that you spiked your own drinks, which makes no sense whatsoever.
That's
And tried to break into your own house. I mean, this is to a level where you're literally. I mean,
I'm
they're
attacking
lucky.
myself.
They're lucky. I mean, they're lucky. It's you, because if somebody did this to me, it would turn out much differently. Okay.
Well, if it's just me attacking myself, then I guess I'll be finishing myself off this week, because it's kind of like, it's so ridiculous.
Well, it's just stupid. Look, you know what I see? That kind of paranoia is what whoever is behind this is trying to foment. Okay,
Right.
They're trying to get everybody arguing and suspecting each other. And oh my God, you did this. You did. I think everybody's being targeted. This kid Gucciardi, obviously, if he had the same similar situation happen to him, and then if it only happened to him, and then didn't happen to anybody since, somebody could say, "Oh well, he had too much to drink." But now you have 3 people that had a similar situation happen to them. Obviously, that's a pattern. So now we have to look at, who would benefit? Who would benefit to go after both you guys and this Gucciardi kid? Now, he works for your old job, right? So maybe that's why he was targeted, because he's connected to them. Maybe you were targeted because you used to work there. Maybe it's an operation to bring InfoWars down.
It could very well be a way to infiltrate. You don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's the thing is that, we quit. And we walked away. We started our own thing. If we really had any ill will or wanted to do, obviously we could have. It's been a year now. It's been a year. And all we've done this whole year is work on our stuff.
Food.
And we talk about food. We worked on our website. We've tried to build it up from, it was nothing before. It was a little blog that I had, which, no one even knew about. And we tried to build up our website and do our own thing. And that's all we've been trying to do. I think our biggest mistake has been staying in Austin, Texas, around the drama, because there's some drama here, and whatever it is, it's like a quicksand pit is being sucked down in the middle, and we're on the edges of it getting sucked back in. And I don't want anything to do with any of that. It's like the mob. It's like you leave, but they just keep trying to. No, I don't care. I just don't want anything to do with it. I want to have my own life.
You guys need to pack up and just get out of there.
And that's what's happening. We're leaving,
and just leave. Take yourself out of the equation. And just, you're not in the drama. You don't want to be involved in it.
This is the deal with this, is that, and I'm speaking for myself now, not Aaron. I've never been that upset before. I've never been that sick before. I've never been that afraid before. And I've been through some serious crap in my life. I'm not the girl that, had the 2.5, brother and sister and the dog and cat and the big nice house in the suburbs. That's not me. I had a hard life. I've been through a lot of crap. This was the scariest thing that's happened to me in a long time. And obviously I trusted people too much. That's first of all. Secondly, because I trusted people too much, I wasn't watching my drink, and Aaron wasn't watching. It's not like we were keeping an eye on our drinks. We just weren't. And we just were a little bit too trusting and maybe too naive too, because whatever this thing is that's going on right now, because there's a lot of drama and I've heard a lot of scary stories right now, which I'm not going to repeat. But I'm just saying there is something going on. It is bigger than us. And I want nothing to do with it, because at the end of the day, it's taking away from the main point of why all of us do what we do all the time.
Exactly. It's such a distraction.
Well, and I also see what I see from an outsider. I see, like, you taking you guys out of the equation. I see InfoWars being attacked. If I'm going to look at this and take all this information in, I would say, well, this kind of looks like some sort of operation, whether it's, and it doesn't have to be government funded.
Right.
It could be somebody that just figured out a way in or whatever. It just looks like they're the target. And regardless of what people think about that whole thing over there, or whether you like them or not, they're effective. Okay.
Infowars is a damn good website to get the news and get the word out.
It's effective to a large extent, and just because whether or not you agree with them or not, that's not the point.
Right.
From my outside opinion, I think that this is. It looks like there's something like that
There's
going
something
on.
nefarious going on, dude. No doubt.
And I'm not blaming any one individual because I don't know. Honestly,
well, I know that there are people that have been fired who have grudges. I do know about that. There are people that we heard talking about having made recordings of people in front of everyone, not just us. So it wasn't like we're the only ones that heard that information. This person did not play any of those for us. They wanted to, but we didn't do it because we are trying. We just don't care. Like we just want
to be left alone.
I mean, I just want to be left alone and do my own thing, and I just don't care. I don't care. It's not. It's like it's just so pointless. It's just such a waste of time, and to now be accused of things we didn't do on top of everything. It's like, wow, it's been a freaking year. It's been a year. How much more things how many more things, how many more actions, how many more things do I have to do to show I don't care? Do I need to go get a billboard out on I-35 here in Austin, Texas with a picture of my face smiling with a thumbs up that says I don't care? Because I really don't. And Aaron doesn't either. And it's pretty obvious that we don't care. And I guess somebody's real butthurt about the fact that we don't care or whatever, because this just keeps happening. And it's like, seriously, leave us alone. We don't care. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get that tattooed on my forehead or something because I just don't care.
The best thing you can do is just like I said to you, get yourself out of the equation by leaving the area. And then I would just stay clear of the people that you obviously don't think you can trust anymore. I would narrow down who you think you can trust.
Which is basically everybody. Well, not you guys, but yeah, basically everybody.
I know what you mean.
I have kids. This is the thing. I have kids.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. They broke into your house.
Come after me, but this is now threatening my children. Okay, there's a level here that needs to not be crossed. It's not that I'm like, oh, I'm a victim now, and no, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. Okay, because I believe that especially there's things. Sometimes you get treated like crap in certain situations and stuff. And you just turn the other cheek and you go on with your life. And that is what I have been trying to do. I think that's what we've both been trying to do. And I think we've taken the high road on this. And we're going to continue to take the high road on this. And whoever's trying to drag us back down into the mud, they can stay there and play in the mud and wallow in it all day long. I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. Leave me the hell alone. Leave Aaron alone. And I'm so beyond just
you guys never look like mud wrestlers to me anyway. Just saying.
We're like nerdy researchers.
This is why
researchers. That's it.
This is why I wanted you guys on, because it gets on the record. You guys are openly talking. I've known about this for like 2 weeks. Okay, but I'm your friend. I don't have to go on air and talk about it if you ask me not to. I know how to keep
somebody drugged us. There are witnesses. There's videotape.
Hey, bam.
And on top of that, someone tried to break into our house. There is a police report. There are pictures of my door. I have shared these with everyone. And now we're being accused of secretly tape. It's like, no, okay? No. We're nerdy people that sit around and research things and try to expose things that are correct.
That's where I think you guys
all this other crap.
That's where I see like whoever's really doing this is trying
like a soap opera.
Exactly. Whoever's really doing this is trying to create tension between people, point fingers. Whoever is doing it. It's not really the greatest job at all because it's kind of amateur hour.
Sloppy.
Yeah, really sloppy. But so if you hear this broadcast, like really sloppy, like you need to clean your crap up, like real bad. Okay. The break.
How about just stop?
Well, the harassing and the breaking in thing. I mean, that was more so.
Obviously, whoever it was didn't think I was going to switch drinks with Aaron.
You
messed up.
There's a lot of variables that they didn't account for, but you know what? All that aside, because we only got a few minutes left, the whole point is the way you guys are handling this is very exemplary because you're not coming out and attacking anybody.
Nope.
And in fact, you're pointing out that perhaps you and this Gucciardi kid could have your drink spiked, poisoned, whatever you want to call it, by the same nefarious individual. And that, from what I understand, that same individual that it could be. Also might be in possession of or he's bragged about being in possession of recordings of people. So maybe they should look inside their own house.
I don't know just exactly who's doing what, but it seems to be very close to the spheres of influence of my old working place. And
Yep.
it's something's going on there. Is it infiltration? It might make a lot of sense. And if I could reveal the whole story to you, I would, but I don't know the whole story. All I know is that we've suffered episodes of harassment more times in the years since we've left there than at any point
than ever in my life.
There for 7 years.
I have to say, being your guy's friend, I have rarely witnessed people that have gone through more troublesome years than you. I mean, you guys have gone through probably one of the most troublesome years that I've ever witnessed. I mean, I've been through some crap, but I mean,
I'm not
you
talking
guys
about
take
like
the cake. No,
I'm not
just
talking
in
about
general.
being from a poor developing country and like living a life of poverty.
No. I'm saying in
we've
general.
been targeted.
We've been targeted repeatedly.
This would make like a Lifetime movie. Okay.
I mean, and this is what happened too. In even last year when stuff started going down in the fall, because nothing, it wasn't too bad until after the fall happened, and then when that came, it was like somebody broke into my car and turned everything on in my car and left all the doors unlocked and killed the battery. And I went out there and found my car with everything switched on at all, plus the windshield wiper. I mean, every door was unlocked. Nobody pulls into their parking lot and goes, I'm going to turn every electrical gadget on in my car possible.
That's the kind of stuff they do.
All the doors open.
That's the kind of stuff they do during gang stalking, by the way.
Then Aaron's dad suddenly died. And he was 56.
Still nobody really knows.
Nobody knows why.
They did an autopsy.
He had a heart. They checked his heart. They said he was fine. And then suddenly he's got a heart attack. He's dead. Okay. Then we come back from that. Someone has broken into my daughter's bathroom and dumped cat litter all over the floor and then flooded it just in the bathroom. Not anywhere else in the house. And then some things were moved around slightly. That was it. So it's kind of like a message. It's not, but there's been so many other things too. And I would get into all of it, but it's almost like giving play to this stuff makes it more. And it's like, I just don't.
Exactly.
I got things to do. But now I'm being accused of secretly recording people and all that. Yeah. Okay. If I gave a crap about that, maybe I would be all into that devious nonsense. But
you don't think like these people.
I just don't. I don't think like these people is why I don't understand why they're doing this to us. And I also just don't care enough to secretly record people and live a life of. It's like, okay, if any of that stuff mattered, but it's not. I mean, it would take far too much energy and effort, and I know you guys are busy doing other things. So frustrating.
We are, guys. I hate to cut you off, but we are out of time. But yeah. I'm glad you had the courage to come on air and talk about all the shady things that have been going on. Yeah. And I know myself and Joe and the listeners out there, we love you guys and we stand by you. And
absolutely,
we got your back.
We love you guys too.
Just get out of there and just take yourself out of the equation. And any updates, let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. I love you all. I'll catch you all again live tomorrow night. As I always say, the solutions to our problems are an inside job. We are out of here.